with the Detroit Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets won their opener, and they're favored here in this one right now by 4 points. And the total in this one is currently at 225 and a half.
Final. Final.
All right. In this one, you have Detroit coming off of a loss against Miami in the opener, but they got the money. We told you we like Detroit in that one, getting that big bushel of points. You know, Detroit's continued to kind of move forward with this program. They got young team, young lineup. They look pretty okay. The Hornets, they got the money. They got the money in the win against Atlanta. And look, it just looked like it was just moving a little bit too high for a team like Atlanta on the road. Uh, the Hornets were a home dog in that one. Now you're asking them to lay some points here um, against the Pistons. Doesn't feel that comfortable. Here's Blake on the Pistons already. But Dave is ready to lay the money, lay the points at home with the Hornets. So a couple plays from you folks already in this one. But I don't know if I want to lay any points with the Hornets at this point. I'd maybe more interested. Look, they needed it as a home dog. Now, granted, they won that game against Atlanta, but after missing both teams, of course, missed the postseason last year. Jason says, "Look out for the Nuggets," and let's talk about it here in just a moment because sounds like some action going on with the line. So for Detroit in this series, the under has come in 13 of the last 19 meetings. Charlotte has covered the spread in 14 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams. Here comes Ferner, likes the Hornets. Take it way down here to minus 1.5. Here's Luis today. Hi, Luis. He'll take the Pistons in this one. I kind of want to take the Pistons in this one just because who wants the Hornets any other than Dave and Ferner? Just not quite well, and right, it could be a question mark of a game just thinking about it, right? Because of the fact that we have yeah, I am too, Ferner. I'm thinking about updating the line a little bit, maybe to 3.5, but and maybe I should because I feel like I'm going to end up recommending the Pistons here in this one, taking uh, the Pistons here plus the points, and I think that's what I'll do as well. I'm not. It feels pretty nondescript, but I just don't want to lay anything right now with Charlotte. I don't think they're going to be a very good team, quite frankly. And I feel like the Pistons maybe a little bit better. Let's see where I'm ranking those guys. Show you my bald head there a little bit. And Ferner just waits. He's not interested. I'm interested. I want to bet NBA early. Ferner and I not on the same page on that one. Darren took it last night. All right, just give me the Pistons here in this one. I've got this one as uh, you know, pretty nondescript game here, pretty ugly game, but uh, I like the other. I like my mom makes a line move. That sounds like a T-shirt. My mom makes the line move. All right. And Nathan here, maybe on the Pistons. I'll take him as well. Twisted Pistons on your uniform? Here's that Denver Nuggets, and I have already listed it at 5.5. So what was it Nathan that was talking about the move here in this one with the Nugs? Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, it's already 6 at some places. Might want to take a look at what's going on here. Do we have injury report? Now, granted, there could be some people just waking up and saying, "Where's Ja?" Uh, you know, for this one or something like that when we know what Ja's situation is. So I don't feel like that's the case. But let me peek at this as there is a little bit of injury news in the game, I think, other than uh, Ja Morant. And it's mostly on, it looks like, the Memphis side. Luke Kennard's out with a concussion. Aldama is out with an ankle injury. So maybe the injury news may be off on Memphis a little bit. Maybe they have the more injuries coming into this one. I'm kind of scared because I was already willing to lay Denver here. Yeah, are we dealing with Denver going out on the road here a little bit after their season opening win against the Lakers, and now you got to play a tough Memphis team on the road. But man, this one open for it's now 5.5. It seems like it's only kind of gone up, really. And in this series between the two teams, the under has come in 29 of the last 32, or I'm sorry, 23 of the last 32 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Both teams did go under in their season opener as well. But I was already, I kind of wanted to get on Denver right away. That was the preferred side for me. This line keeps going up. I don't think I'm going to get there necessarily on a premium. Man, you want to give Memphis some respect here to get this money at home. They have a pretty decent, team even without Morant. It feels like to be. Here's Luis's on the Nuggets. Jason said he got him on him last night at 3.5. Let me put that down. I'm going to write three and I never saw the 3.5, but I always like to write down. And if you got a 3.5, Jason, you're as good as anyone in here. So I'll go ahead and put that on my board. Solo says, "Give me the Nuggets." He's got Jokic having a big night here against the Grizzlies. Here's Darren on the Nuggets. Right. I mean, I was totally intent on coming in here and taking the Nuggets, but I'm not sure now. I really am not. And then for a free play, I mean, I'm willing to flip. I know you guys see all you guys on the Nuggets. I got no problem with it either. But the more I consider, see this line rising, I'm not worried about, you know, this is still a strong Memphis program, it feels like to me. We saw the Nuggets without Morant before, you know, it seemed like they were doing just fine. So I'm probably no doubt, no doubt. Hey, Nathan, we said it. We said Kennard certainly impact injury. I mean, we're gonna we I feel like we spend enough time on this show with me rambling. I mean, we don't go over every injury, and maybe we should. I mean, that's probably where we should specialize in to a certain extent, especially with me here. But um, I like to talk my market philosophies and all that. I get it without without Kennard, who steps up. But I mean, when I look at the matchups in the game, I mean, first of all, Bane's had a great matchup. I mean, you tell me, who's he gonna KCP gonna stop Desmond Bain? No, no,
Final.
right? I mean, Bane's gonna have a strong, strong game in all categories. It would think to me, and uh, Jackson, great matchup for him. Jason says he's got Nuggets as a premium. Oh my God, you're scaring me because I've already practically switched to the Grizzlies here. No, I don't know. I want Grizzlies. I want Jackson. I want X Tillman. Look, Jokic, he'll have a monster game, no doubt. You think Tillman going to stop Jokic? No, but Aaron Gordon, I'll take the under on Aaron Gordon here. Then okay, I get it, Jason. Marcus Smart does not, I don't like him against Murray. Marcus Smart. Now I know they've got injuries. We know Adams is out to start the season too. There are some, there are other key injuries. I'm leaving those guys out because we already know that those guys are out. So Denver's a public play. There's no doubt about it. You guys are all over Denver. This is a little bit of. I'm not saying there's any difference between you and. Like I said, I get on here and choose this to be my job, like most people. There are plenty of people in this chat room that can be handicappers, I think. But these are the ones where maybe we end up taking a little bit of differences in situations like this. This is a total public side. I'm looking at, uh, two different line services, totally listing, Denver. Well, yeah, Denver looks like the public side, certainly. MR Stretch. Hello, MR Stretch. Nice to have you. There's no doubt it's not quite the same Grizzlies team as last year. But, okay. All right, Jason, I gotcha. I'll just take the Grizzlies. You guys are all in the Nuggets. We'll just move on. I won't sit here and make up any more reasons why I'm taking the Grizzlies. It's definitely because Denver opening night win. Sometimes the public can be right, and I'm sure this will be the case. And again, I'll probably wait. I'm doing it, Jason. I can't lay off. Look, my sheet has take Denver right here before the and this is how I am wishy washy. But the more I think about this line move right now, look, the earliest of openers were like 2.5, and that was without Ja, and I think without Adams. So I still think this Memphis program, if you will, yeah, did they lose that opener? Sure. And I'm going to take them here. They lost that one, of course, to New Orleans, 111 to 104. Here's the Thunder and the Cavaliers in this one. And you have right now the Cavaliers here, a favorite at home by 3.5. Call it 3 right now, and the total is up to 228. I think that's one of the fun things about the show. The time we come on is the line moves. Definitely get some line moves here during the show because of the time we come on and all that. And you guys are ready to fire away. It looks like on the picks. Here we go with uh, Oklahoma City and Cleveland. Both teams won their opener. OKC was on the road in that first game. They ended up winning against Chicago, 124 to 104. Oklahoma City with the 20-point win in the season opener at the Bulls. They were getting 2.5 points in that one. And for Cleveland, they won at Brooklyn, 114-113. They were a 1.5 point favorite pretty much at the close. So they did not get the money in that one. Looks like you guys are ready to fire away with some comments here on the game. Here's Thomas is going to say, give me the Cavs on the money line. And I'm was maybe not quite sure. Yeah, let's see, Nathan here. I might end up giving out a total and really feel like for me, here's another thing about Jason, and I know you're busy in your life, Jason, and I really like when you come around. You have great insight, and I will say this about Jason, my Bama guy, and I am pretty much pro Bama. I'm not, I mean, I think people takes either love him or hate him type of position, and I'm a pro Bama guy. Here's thunder sprinkled, but Jason. And I'm going against not to go against Jason in that game or whatever, but Jason not visiting quite enough. I'm put the onus on Jason to come by more often before trying to talk me off of a game. You guys are hot on the Thunder here. It looks like in this one, and good. I mean, I'm looking for a side, so I might just end up going in pocket here. I feel like I'm going to give out my premium in this game, just because I don't necessarily like the side yet, even though I was kind of leaning Thunder here, certainly, because hey, they are the Thunder buddies, to coin a phrase from our friends across the street, even though when I think Thunder Buddies was out there, but they use it so frequently. I like it. It's cute. And uh, Fernando and I often on the same page, especially when it comes to totals. Not today, Fernando. My free pick is on the under. It feels like a premium. The reported steam came in on the over in this game. And, being the steam chaser that I am, I mean, I often, kind of, but I think I'm already on the under. I feel like I'm going to be on the under in this one. Turner says Cavs maybe not quite all together just yet. Garland is I think he's a game time decision here. Um, Same with Wade, Rubio out to start the season. We know Allen is out. Um, Mitchell can light this thing up. I mean, Josh Giddey's a great offensive player and he's hard trying. I don't know if he's all that on defense, but look, Cavaliers front court is still going to be. Hi, Thurman. Nice to see you today. But look, I mean, you mean to tell me, guy, you think Holmgren, you think that uh, Williams and Dort are going to get over on these guys in on Cleveland? It feels like here with Evan Mobley and the gang. I don't know. Here's Ray on the under. I'm on the under. Jason, you always say that every show, and I don't know how to fix that. So my bad on that, making you come in. But let me at least say that I'm here 7 days a week at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, or a few minutes after that. I know. I'm trying to get the show on earlier, but I just want to have everything right. And so I'm not busting you. I like having you here. That's why I said that. So I hope you got that right. All right. I don't know if I can. I don't know what to do to fix that because usually you just hit the bell. And again, I'm the guy that never reminds people like and smash. That's why you guys have to remind me. So, um, it shouldn't not work. I mean, this is a billions of dollar company. This YouTube. All right. So I don't know. I agree with you guys a little bit on the Thunder. The fact that the spread's going away does bother me a little bit. And I'm still not down on the Cavs with some of these injuries at this point. But um, I'm going to give out the under here. I appreciate it, Jason. I just liked saying that to you because you're trying to talk me off the game. And like I said, I mean, maybe it's on me because I came on here saying, and I've just looked at this line go up from 4, and now you guys told me 3.5, all the way up to 5.5, or now a 6. So I just couldn't do it. I've got to take some of these NBA home dogs early and figure some of these teams not overrated. Certainly, I'm never going to say the Nuggets are overrated. I mean, they're probably the favorite to do it again, despite all these other teams with a chance. Not until you see something, like there's no reason to think the Nuggets aren't the same team, at least, right? So these other teams are going to have to improve. Give me the under in this one. Hi, Chad. Okay. And I love teasing basketball. When people say don't tease basketball, yeah, you don't tease basketball. All right, I'll tease what I want to tease. All right, if I'm looking to get on a game and I couldn't find a side or a total, I want some action, I might get in there with a teaser on it. The reason I'm teasing, I didn't feel as confident. I want to play the game. I want to have some fun. I rate every game. The ratings have to be worth something. If your numbers land right on the game, then fine. Then don't bet it. All right, you guys, thanks a lot for that one. I'll take the under. Here, we're rolling, man. We're going to have a big day in the NBA. Knicks and Hawks. Wow. Here in this one with the Knicks on the road. Oh. Hawks are favored by 1.5. The total 229.5. So a little bit of a move here to the Knicks, it seems like, here this morning. All right. Here we go with the Knicks and the Hawks. The Hawks favored on the road, -1.5. Total of 229 here in this one. And the Knicks and Hawks both come in with 0-1 records so far this season. The under has come in 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams. The Knicks opened up with a 108-104 loss at Boston, a game that, I don't know, maybe some people got the money, maybe some people didn't. Landed very close to the number. Looking back, it looked like the Knicks probably weren't getting enough points, actually, from odds makers. Maybe they knew it was going to, maybe the Knicks are onto something here. And here's Luis. He's on the Knicks. Thomas says he likes a lot of unders. You know I'm starting under, Thomas. We'll let you know when we're on an over, right? Solo's interested in the Knickerbockers at a little bit of plus money here. So, Jason, save a spot for me, Jason. I'll come to Myrtle Beach in 10 or 20 years and hang out. So I'm in Las Vegas currently. All right, and I'm probably leaning Knicks here actually in this one, but let's see Ferner here. Just feels a little bit tricky to a certain extent. I mean, uh, I just have some concerns about the Hawks in this game. Trae Young against Brunson. Brunson, man, he really does bother you, I think. Is Thomas to go to Myrtle Beach? That's where you and I are going to be hanging out. In our, we'll be uh, drinking foo drinks on the beach. Darren likes the under here in this one. Frederick likes the under as well. And I'm maybe liking the under as well in this one. I don't know necessarily. Look, I guess I could go either way. I kind of want to go with the Knicks here with you guys and just take my chances. I definitely like Julius Randle here to go off in this one if they're going to match up a guy like maybe Sadiq Bey on him. But I kind of like what you guys are saying about the under. I mean, I think Trae Young could be limited here offensively in a matchup like this. Don't think the Hawks can really score in the front court. Look what Mitch Robb did defense. I thought Mitch Robb did a good job in the game against the Celtics. I don't know what you guys thought of that. One player I'm looking for Grimes. I mean, I know he doesn't contribute yet, but we'll see. and he could have an impact in this game for the Knicks. I mean, Grimes might be my guy, my secret guy there to kind of get on the props a little bit. And Barrett, I was kind of high on in the Boston game as well. So I do think for um, the Hawks, I mean, I think Murray can have a pretty big game, and Hunter also can have a pretty good game here. I would think so. I'm gonna take the Knicks with you guys here, and it's going to be my free. I like the total, and I want to give out a play. I do like the Knicks. This one's close, man. This one's close. I'll try the Knicks one time here. They need the win. I know the Hawks lost. All right, the Heat and the Celtics in this one. The Celtics are now up to a 9-point favorite. Man, this one's been a runaway. It's been one of the biggest runaway spreads of the day, for sure, coming into this game. Just because, uh, had an opener as low as 4.5, but maybe that was before we saw that Miami certainly has one of the most long injury reports right now to start the season. It feels like to me. Let me see if I can get that get some of the injuries here for you. The key injuries, especially here, I would think with uh, Richardson and uh, and Highsmith. I think can be considered in there right now. I don't know what you guys think of Haywood, but uh, Barton game time decision, Robinson game time decision, Jaquez might also have a little bit of an injury designation here, but man, the Celtics, an 8-point favorite. These are the spots it feels like you want. I don't know, kind of want to somehow get in on Miami, but maybe there is some issues here if the spread is 8. And here's Ray says take the Heat +9. They step it up here against opponents like this. Luis says take the Heat here. And could there be a contrarian favorite? Ferner says he thinks this line is going to keep going up. It feels like I think that's what he's saying. Game time, but Heat +10, or wait maybe and see if it goes up, and then maybe kind of add to it. Right? Maybe it goes up to, or if it doesn't, you buy it up to 10. That's interesting. It's not a football game, is it? So, uh, look, I mean, I agree with you guys to a certain extent. In most situations, I think I would take the Heat, especially with, Butler can have a big game. I think Butler's got a fine game in this matchup. I think Lowry as well, but uh, I don't know about the front court, right? I mean, is Kevin Love really in there against a guy like Tatum? Um, I don't want Kevin Love. That could be the big problem here tonight. It feels like to me. I'm going to actually lay the points with the Celtics at -8. That feels like I'm not fading you guys. It seems like you guys are a little bit on the points here. You guys are still all over that Knicks game, man, because that's I'm gonna lay the points with the Celtics -8, and Ferner. I don't know. I'm not going to take total issue with the exact wording of that. I know what you're saying, so I'm not. I was trying to find a. I'm trying to defend my position a little bit here on the Celtics. I feel like that maybe, like I said, I feel like it's a little bit of a contrarian favorite. I think the Heat are a team. Yeah, um, are the team the Heat a team that I want to try to grab points on the road with? I think they are. I just don't know if tonight, right now, early season necessarily is the night. Heat has their win here, and no, I think this is one of those that nice, Ferner. Yeah. But I don't think you're going to necessarily, I'm not. I don't think you're talking down the Celtics defense like, hey, these guys are so bad they can give up a dozen points in a minute. Because I think when we really look at the Celtics, we are talking about uh, one of the best defenses in the league, right? Am I not? Do I not have that correct? I mean, you know, they're a very good team, right? I mean, they are a top championship contender. You've got to have some semblance of defense. So, all right, I'm taking the Celtics. I've made my stand. Raptors, Bulls here in Chicago. The Bulls are a 2.5 point favorite. The total's 216.5. Oh boy, you guys. I've I think I found the root of my not that you guys are worried about it, but I might have a little bit over. I'm concerned about the electronics all the stuff here. Like maybe my okay. I'll just start talking about the game if I can't get the computer to work for me. Here's the Bulls at home against the Raptors. I did mention right now two and the total 216.5. Let's update that. Looks like a little bit of a move to the under here in this one with the Raptors and the Bulls today. Let's see if I can get just what I'm trying to look at here in this one. All right, here we go. Okay, now we're talking. All right, Raptors and Bulls here. There has been widely reported steam that came in on the under in this game
Final.
earlier. That's why I think you saw that 218 on the screen. Now we're talking at 216.5 here. Currently, Toronto, they're the team that won their season opener coming in, but they're a dog here in this one. Toronto won against Minnesota 97-94 in the opener. They were a 1 point favorite in that one. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they, of course, we already talked about it, the loss to Oklahoma City by 20 points at home as a 2.5 point favorite. I don't know about that move there necessarily to the under, but I'm a little bit indifferent to it. Do you guys have anything yet on the Raptors and the Bulls? Hello to Jim. Here's Solo today on the Bulls. Ray's going to lean to the Bulls at home. And Jim's on the Raptors here against the spread already. He's ready to make his statement, ready to make his play, I think, in this one. Man, this one ranks pretty close for me, but I'm going to be on the Raptors here on the road. The Bulls left something to be desired. I mean, if there's any uh, game that stood out, losing at home by 20 points certainly has to be of one of the top concerns moving forward here. At least they're at home. Toronto has had some trouble in this series. Chicago's actually covered 7 of the last 10 meetings in this series. Yeah, I'm on. Oh boy, seeing a little bit of movement here just now. I think Jim is kicking my butt here to try to get me on this game, is what he's saying. All right. Um, You guys, I'm gonna back down from this. I'm gonna go with the over here in this one, with the Raptors and the Bulls. I'm gonna fade this team. I think uh, a little bit in this one. Bulls were 7-2-1 against to the over as a favorite. How many points were in that last game? 228. They gave up 124 to OKC. Yeah, was the Toronto game the lowest scoring game of the openers? I think it was. But I'm gonna give me the over here. This is probably my least favorite game. I think game needs further investigating. Here's Burner on the Bulls here, and I'm not I'm not liking it too much. Bulls. Um, Rockets and the Spurs going to be getting down here. We saw the Spurs, the debut, Wembanyama. I thought it was just fine. Everything's good with Wemby so far. Thought he looked pretty good. Going to be development, certainly, but the numbers were good. Hey, they were Tim Duncan like, apparently. So that's a positive. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two have gone over. You see Dallas here favored by 6. I'm sorry, the Spurs here favored by 2. Total has dropped here to 226 in this one. And this one opened maybe as high as Houston opened at some spots as the 1.5 point favorite, but it's pretty much been all San Antonio since then. Reported steam did come in on the under as well. Now, I don't know when you talk about these head-to-head series. I mean, Wembanyama is certainly an impact player that could change the trajectory of some of these. I mean, of course, there's always going to be turnaround anyways. San Antonio, of course, in their opener, the loss to Dallas. We had Dallas. I know a lot of people were coming in on San Antonio, in that first game, thinking, that this is a new San Antonio. They were getting the points in that one. Jesus. And I know I'm taking some time here on these. I'm sorry, you guys. Just want to get you my best information. All right. For the Rockets and the Spurs, also, you had the Rockets in their debut. They got walloped, right, by Orlando by 30 points. Just a real dismal effort there. And uh, set things back just a little bit, considering, we know the hopes aren't great for the Rockets coming in, and they do have, Oladipo out, Jock Londale out currently. Not a great matchup really with them here against the Spurs in this one, but you got to figure they could match up a little bit here. Maybe these teams are equal. Of course, the Rockets with Van Vliet now on the team, and I would think that for the Spurs, I really like Johnson here in this one. Maybe also, maybe Zach Collins as well. You guys got some picks here maybe in this one? Darren's on the Spurs. Thomas says, Wembanyama has a lot of experience. He does. He's played in other leagues. He's played in high caliber leagues. Uh, young, learning, but has been a professional already in his career. Joey's on the Spurs first half. Solo is on the Spurs money line. Nathan is on the Spurs. Darren is on the Spurs. Everybody here is on the Spurs. Wow. 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 I mean, Wow. Let me look at the public numbers here. You guys have me worried. We got 3 out of every 5 tickets over there on the Spurs. Wow, you guys. Rockets are off a huge loss. They lost massively in this last game. The Spurs, I mean, they were, the Rockets should technically be ahead of the Spurs as far as where they are, right, in terms of this rebuild, right? Because we've already seen the Rockets and their young players here a little bit with the growth. Rockets are terrible. Okay. Chad loves his Rockets. I'm a Rockets fan. And I'm almost saying, Thomas, it's like a too much. Like even I'm like, look, I count on you guys, almost 90% ticket count. I almost count on you guys to make sure we're keeping everything, in order, right? But if I've got an entire chat room on one team, well, at least I've got Chad. Is it 90%, Ray, on your ticket count or money count? Because I'm a tickets only kind of guy. All right. Well, I feel like I'm ready to finalize, and I feel like I'm just going to end up, uh, you know, fading the chat. Almost it feels like here to a certain extent because of But maybe there's it. Maybe this player is something special. Maybe you got the pop factor. It's all that, right? All right, Team Steam. You better be right. I had every intention of coming in here and taking the Rockets here, but I'm going to trust Team Steam on the free pick in this one. But I wanted to go Rockets, quite frankly, and I'm going to trust you guys here in this one. I don't think I want to fade you guys at this point. I know I'm on a premium in this one on the total for sure. So let me just make that known. But I'm going to go with you guys. And like I said, my notes say take the Rockets here. But again, I was going to go with the free play. Wasn't really too sold on it here. I don't think they're. All right, let's keep it rolling. I got to roll with my crew once in a roll with my crew. The thing is, I'd be totally embarrassed to go against you guys. I mean, other than Chad, at least I had Chad. Maybe I could have done it. Okay, now Frederick's on the Rockets. Man, all right. Maybe I could have. Maybe I could have done it. Maybe I should. Maybe I could have been with it. But in conclusion, though, what I was saying is, so the Rockets should be now. Granted, the Spurs were able to add Wemby. We get that, but the Rockets should be ahead of the Spurs, right? They have like a year or two jump start on the rebuild. Okay, you guys don't think the Rockets are trying to improve? I don't know how to categorize. I guess they haven't improved necessarily too much, right? All right, now there's more. Now the Rockets support's coming in after all the others talked me into the Spurs. Hey, this is Team Steam. We're all together. You guys. Okay, Brooklyn and Dallas in this one.
Steam play. Final. System play.
All right, Brooklyn. Let me get some banner here. Juan's funny. They will improve, but not this game. Thank you, Juan. I like that. I think it's funny actually on that one in a way. Right. Well, and to tease Juan a little bit, uh, I know what he's saying. Like the Rockets maybe will improve as the season goes on. And I'll say this one. I'll challenge. They just lost by 20 points at home. I think they will improve. But what does that mean? They only have to lose by 18? No, that's our one and only. And I guess if they lost by 18, they lost by 18 points or less, it'd be an improvement. Nets and the Mavericks here in this one. Mavericks here. Boy, I know where I'm going with this one, man, and I better get on it early because this already has been moving higher. Everyone thinks it's going to be a high scoring, and it feels like it should be. And the spread's just going through the roof right now. I almost feel like I have to give it out here, but it's so solid, man. I mean, I think it's going to. Let me just move the total higher as it is already 231 and a half. Man, gosh. And I really might just give it out right here, right now. I mean, it feels like it's getting away from me at this point. I was going to give out the side, but kind of worried here all of a sudden. I was going to give out the side on the show. I really love the total in this game. Brooklyn lost their first game of the season, won 14-1, 13. Dallas, of course, with the game against the Spurs, had 247 points. And they were at home in that one. It feels like the same thing's going to happen here, what it feels like. Paying a big tax, man. Here's the Nets for Luis. Thomas says over. Nets here for Ray. Ready to come in on the Nets here. And for me, look, I was really trying to consider Dallas here in this spot, and I feel like that's still the way I want to go. Laying 6 points against Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn is broken. I think there is a problem. I want Brooklyn to be a better team. I try to put them in my favorites category as one of my favorite teams here. But right now, that seems to be something kind of broken here with the Nets, whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe don't have to look much further than this lineup. Solo, though, likes the Nets here in this one. And Luca looks not a great, if he's matched up against Simmons, we make fun of Simmons. I think his defense is underrated. I know people will say he just plays no deep. I think he tries, and that's better than half the players in this league. But I don't know. I prefer Dallas in this one with Kyrie and Luca. I would think they'll have a fine effort. I mean, I don't trust in this situation. I don't trust a guy like Bridges necessarily against Williams or whoever, or Sharp, whoever they're going to have in there in center against Kleber. So I will say this: you guys talked me off of the Rockets. Just want to mention it real quick on that game. The Spurs are on the move. The steam's coming in on the Spurs. So good job, you guys. I think we're moving the line. Darren says take Dinwiddie to go. I agree. They want me to give out props here, and I'm big on it. I just not necessarily big on selling things that don't have higher limits, but I'm on Spencer Dinwiddie, I think, here in this one. Yeah, we did, Jason. We did look at the Celtics and the Heat already, unless you have something. Re-look at it, you said? Is there an injury to report? Just let me know. Okay, I'm going to lay the points here with the Mavs against Brooklyn today. It's a lot of points, 6 points in this league. I'm telling you, dogs are going to be the way to go early on. These favorites are a little bit jacked. I know we're on some favorites here. It's a little bit uncomfortable laying some of these points, but no doubt, Luis, no doubt. But again, until further notice, a little bit, I think I'm ready to come back to some of the teams a little bit, right? The Heat. We're already interested in what the Heat and their little dichotomy from last year, home and away. We'll see how that goes. Juan, thank you for all your picks in the chat. Clippers and Mavericks. Free NBA pick for Friday. And this one, you got the Clippers on the road, favored by 4, and the total's down to 227. Some widely reported steam has come in on the under in this game. And the Clippers are up to a -4 here on the road. Well, the Clippers look fine, and the Clippers are pretty popular right now with folks that kind of want to find another team to bet on to win the championship that isn't named Denver, Milwaukee, Boston, any of these, you know, top elite teams. The Clippers are certainly getting some attention, especially when you have a guy like my guy Kawhi coming out of his shell a little bit now, starting to make give more quotes, play more, things like that. Here's Ray wants to come in on the over already in this one. We haven't even started talking about it, but that's what I want to see. Get your plays in there, and I can react off of them. It's a lot more fun for me, actually. Clippers won their opener, of course, in Utah. Comes in with an 0-1 record. For the Clippers, they won 123 to 111, covering a big number against Portland in a game that went over. For the uh, for the Jazz, they ended up in a high-scoring game. They lost 130 to 114 to the Kings in a bit of a shocker there at home. So not a great performance, certainly, to get things rolling this season. All right. Not much in the comments from you guys regarding this game, so maybe I'll just get into it a little bit here with some of the trends in this one, because this series has gone over in 6 of the last 9 meetings, and also Utah has gone over in 21 of their last 27 as an underdog dating back to last season. That's pretty significant, especially with the Clippers. They've also been a big over team of late. We see this total, like I said, moving down, but the Clippers have gone over in 12 of their last 16 dating back to last season, and also 26 of their last 36 on the road dating back to last season. And you're getting the best price on the over right now, as this one has moved down as much as 3 points so far. So sharps, to me, it feels like sharps are mostly going to be on Utah here in this game, getting some points at home in this one. Probably the way I'm going to come too. I mean, I want more home point. I want points at home in the NBA right now, and I'm going to take Utah plus 4 points at home. Prove it to me, Clippers. I don't know. Maybe the Clippers are still my number one team as far as loyalty. They once had the name San Diego in front of them. So, all right. But I'm taking the Jazz here in this one. right now. This has been a home team dominated series as well. 13 of the last 16 games have been covered by the home team in this series. I'll take Utah plus the points. Nathan wants to be the over in this one. Thomas says if the Jazz win, it's going to go over. And I don't want to give it. I don't want to give away the fruits here. I'm giving out the Jazz plus the points. How about the Magic and the Trailblazers tonight in this one? And we got the Magic on the road. Wait a minute here. The Magic are a road favorite? What is going on here? I mean, I know that we're starting from scratch with the uh, Blazers right now, but you know what? I'm already starting to mix up the dough a little bit, and you gotta like what you see from the uh, Blazers here. Not necessarily in this game. I'm just saying in general. I don't have a problem with the direction the Blazers are going. In fact, I think if anything, they have they made the decision where they're headed, and they're doing it quickly. So I'm happy for the Blazers to kind of get this show on the road a little bit. Right? It wasn't going to work out for Lillard. It's not like some of these teams where you get rid of a guy. I mean, look, uh, even back with the great backcourt, the fans love them, loved those players, and they did the best they could. It just didn't work out over the years. Portland in rebuild mode, we get all that, but I like the way they've revamped the roster quickly. Is it going to be painful? Yes. It is going to be painful this season, but this is the right thing to do for Portland. And now you've got Scoot, you've got Simons. Simons does have an injury designation here tonight. I do believe he's questionable. Let me just take a look. Okay, I don't think maybe he's not even on the main
System play.
injury. Okay, probable. Okay, probable. No problem. Let's see. Kevon Harris is out for Orlando. Gowrie is in. Ish Wainwright out. Okay, here we go. Uh, for these two, Magic on the road. So I get it, especially with a great matchup. I mean, man, I would think that Bancaro probably have a massive day. Even Wagner could probably do some damage here against a guy like Zybul. I don't know how they're going to work it there in the front court. I would imagine, but uh, Blazers are pretty going to be pretty weak defensively. In the front court moving forward.
Scheme play.
So, all right. Also, though, even though I think I love Scoot, we love Scoot, we all love Scoot, it feels like to me this might not be very, great matchup. Like I said, one thing about Fultz, I think Fultz is a good defensive player uh, for Orlando, and I don't know. I think Orlando, the one thing that they will be able to do in the future, I think they are going to be decent defensively. I think Bancaro is a good defensive player. I think Carter is a decent defensive player. So, but Orlando maybe can get this money here on the road today. It does feel like I want to roll with them here. I'm trying to find home dogs. I want to try to find the spots to play Portland because I think when you're doing something right, I think Portland is. That's not to say that Portland's any good at all. They might be the worst team, but they've made a decision, right? They're not hanging on, right? They're not, you know, Darren's on the Magic here. Luis is on the Magic. This one will be the one. I'm listening to you guys. Uh, And I'm also going to say, hey, you know what, Thomas, hang in there. I think I'll go against you here, but I'm kind of you know really ready to roll here with the Magic today, maybe to get this particular one. But I'm going to be targeting
Scheme play.
maybe some some action here with the Blazers. They're a team I want to get on. I mean, nobody's going to want them in a lot of spots. Let's see how it goes in the development with the Blazers moving forward, because I think things are going to be, I don't want to say fine, just, it's going to take a long time. Give me the Warriors and the Kings here. The Kings going to be favored at home by 2.5. And the total here, 238 currently in this one. Rockets and Spurs. All right, Rockets and Warriors and Kings. Warriors and Kings. What am I? All right. All right, the Warriors and the Kings right now in this one. The Kings are favored here by 3.
Final.
And the total currently sits at 238. So we've seen a little bit of a dip here on the total.
Final.
And maybe just a half a point drop right now with the Kings favored at home in this one. All right, here we go. Man, that's a big total, isn't it, you guys? The reported steam did come in on the under in this. Was as high maybe as even 240 in this one. Kings, of course, coming off that season opening victory that we mentioned against Utah. A massive win on the road, 130 to 114, easily covering. And as for Phoenix, the Warriors, of course, they played Phoenix and lost that game 108 to 104 as a 3-point favorite. So remember, Phoenix played pretty well in that game. So I'm thinking about chasing that steam maybe a little bit. We'll see that steam under, because this has been an interesting series. We think of these two teams and kind of what they've meant this series, the rivalry, kind of, if you will. But the Kings have gotten the best of the series spread wise. Usually the Warriors are favored by too many points. The Warriors have covered 17 of the last 25 meetings between these two teams. And Golden State, they've had big time problems on the road. They've only covered 17 of their last 57 road games dating back to last season. I mean, that's a massive number, quite frankly, to consider. Maybe that's why they are an underdog here. We know the Kings have been on the improve over the last several years. They can match up here, I would think, with the Warriors. I mean, Fox can certainly against Chris Paul. I don't know what everyone. Chris Paul is going to help the defense. He helps everything. I don't think so. Not against a guy like De'Aaron Fox. I think he can get over on Chris Paul a little bit here. I think some bonus against Looney. Give me a break. It's a mismatch, I think, to a certain extent. I like some bonus in that one. There are some problems for the King. Yeah. I don't think Kevin Herter is going to have a very decent, not against, Curry, whoever else is contributing defensively in the backcourt. Let's get your comments here. You got Frederick on the Kings. You guys got a lot of opinions on this one. Here's Ray on the Warriors. Juan's on the Warriors. Thomas wants to go over. Darren's on the Kings. And they are, it does feel like, we've already saw Green's that going to be out again. And always a bad spot. So That always bothers me, right, Furnace? So those are the spots I kind of want to take the Warriors in to a certain extent, but I don't think I want to here today. I think I want to lay it with Sacramento a little bit, and I'll lay 2.5 points with the Kings at home because the Warriors go 0-2 already. You know what they'll be talking about. Give me the Kings tonight at home against the Dubs here. Ray says go under. It's going to be hard to get me off the under, I would think, in this game. Look at some of the recent matchups, between these two. And again, it feels like we're always dealing with a high total between these two. The last game was here at Sacramento in that playoff series that ended up going 7 games. Remember, was 120 to 100. The Warriors ended up crushing them in that game. In that series, 4 of the 7 games did go under. In the regular season, though, they played the game at Sacramento, 122-115. Sacramento last November 13th. Very similar date to this one. So, all right. Juan says they will not go 0-2 LOL. I don't know if it's that. Wait. They will not. They're not going 0-2, but they will come. So they could go 0-2. So maybe they lose, but they lose by just 1 or 2 points. One maybe. Okay, give me the Kings here in this one. Warriors will be fine to a certain extent that they'll be playoff caliber. Probably even can go a couple of rounds. But I do not have them in that championship category right now. But I don't know. Any certainly got it together. Okay, and there's Thomas. He says Green not playing under. Some people would say Green not playing over because of his, defense.